So, the pressure building here in Finland. We are at the Mikasalo circuit, the go-kart circuit, which has been transformed into an arena.
Juha Rintanen has got that experience. He's been in these situations. He's been around for a long time. Look at him tapping the steering wheel. He knows what he needs to do. If he can take down Shanahan right now, he's one step closer to leading this championship. And look, he'll be the first Finn to be in the Final Four, and he'll be tasting that champagne, Dave, almost on that start line. Well, they pull up to the start line and we get the heavy equipment off the circuit. We get the all clear from our track marshals.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. If you put Juha Rintanen now into the top 4, it's hard to see anyone stopping him from there on out, because he's going to be right up there in the championship and he's going to be one of the biggest contenders for it from this point on. This is a huge battle for the championship. If you're a European drift fan, you know what this means. This is the big game. All the marbles. Shanahan versus Rintanen. Here we go.
Now look at this. Shanahan fires the car from left to right, but Rintanen dials him in, almost hits him on initiation, has to back out of it. Shanahan gets into the outside zone, clinical, and lead already from Shanahan as he fires through, and now Rintanen dials in the grip, dials on the angle, looks down the circuit as he goes for it, but he makes a big mistake there on outside zone 5 as Shanahan looks to get for that final outside zone. Up on the wall they go, across the line.
Well, look, I'm going to say there's a tale of two halves of this battle, because right now it looks like Juha making some errors, but I'm guaranteeing you that on this battle, Conor Shanahan is going to struggle to stay with that GR86. So is he going to start cutting the track and bring it back into the hands of Rintanen? Hold on to your hats, here we go.
Well, we're going to find out. We won't need long to find out. The light goes green. Here they go through the start line. Juha Rintanen through the gears, flicks the car across the circuit. Shanahan knows he can't let Rintanen get away. He's the fastest man around Sweden, but he is the fastest man around Finland, and it doesn't look that way as Shanahan applies the pressure, gives him the room to transition now. Shanahan pops the wheel over the curve, tries to shortcut outside zone 4, waits for the dive. Oh, tags Rintanen as they come through outside zone 5. Shanahan applying the pressure this time, and Rintanen can't get to the outside zone.
Oh, it's about the sport, not just the result, but the result is all that matters to Rintanen and Shanahan. Who's going through to the Final Four? It's a one more time and a split decision, and it's going to be a one more time.
It was incredibly difficult again, Dave. You saw my vote was to go with Conor. I just thought he was a little bit cleaner over the 2 runs, but you had definitely putting up an extremely close battle as well. In my opinion, the other 2 judges, they went with it one more time because Conor slowed a little bit too much on the initiation, which actually caused the contact between you and Conor there. So that was enough then for them to warrant it one more time overall. I didn't think, because it was in a decel zone, that it was effective enough, so that's why I went with Conor. But we are really cutting margins here.
I would not like to be a judge this weekend, and I do feel, I mean, the guys are obviously under extreme scrutiny all the time, from the drivers, the fans, everybody trying to make the right call. And we move on to an incredible battle that we're seeing lining up in the Grade 8, which we'll see Eryk Goczał, who's on fire this weekend, going up not well. Oh, let's hope.
Let's hope not.
Eryk Goczał going up against Kevin Pesur. These 2 guys are almost like, you know, 2 bulls that have been running through a field all day, scattering all the other cows, and now they're going to go head to head, because these guys haven't been stopped because they've been that good.
And they have been that good. They've been very, very good, and now it's time to find out who is the better off the both of them. They're through the gears, and look at this as Eryk Goczał looks over at Kevin Pesur as he fires in. It was a late transition and a very early initiation from Eryk Goczał, as Goczał now looks for the side of that BMW. They look through down the centre of the circuit. Kevin Pesur now gets himself into that groove. They fire down into outside zone 5, and look at Eryk Goczał as he goes for the dive, but gives him the room to manoeuvre. Now plants that BMW 1 Series on the side of the 2 Series.
Yeah, so that I have no idea. So if you're at home, you know, you can play judging roulette, because nobody knows what way is. And again, it could all turn around in an instant here on the initiation of this second run. So we've got Kevin Pesur. Helmet, visor goes down, business time, and we're ready to go. Eryk Goczał will be in the lead. It will be Pesur in the chase. Pesur timing it right this time. Goczał with that beautiful entry. Look at that on the left foot brake, absolutely perfect to the wall from Eryk Goczał, and Kevin Pesur allowed into the game here. Has a little bit of separation there as Goczał does drop a wheel on the inside of the chicane. Goczał now with a lot more pace in the car, and he's absolutely flying here. Kevin Pesur desperately trying to catch up, and he's trying to get up onto the door, which he manages to do across the finish line. But Goczał is so fast through that center section. Just need to sit down. There's a lot going on here.
Sounds like you've just been sitting down for 5 minutes.
Well, I was doing a lot of work, all right? So here we go. It's a decision in. It's for a spot in the Final Four. And it's Eryk Goczał getting the win. Eryk Goczał gets the win and goes through to the Final Four. He needed to double check. He couldn't believe it himself. He goes through to the final four. Look at what it means to the youngster. He's had his first big moment in Drift Masters here in Finland. He's bowing to the people mowing the lawn, everything. He's losing his mind. And Kevin Pesur, well, he's dejected. He says, oh, I'm not sure what happened. Kevin, just a quick one on the initiation of the first run. We were having a little bit of a discussion on it. What way did you guys see it?
Yeah, we actually saw it as Eryk's fault, but what he was able to do was he was able to rein him back in afterwards and actually kind of salvage the run. And came away with still a disadvantage from the mistake, but it was the second run that was able to massively overturn it. Fantastic lead line by Eryk, really, really good on that qualifying line. And unfortunately, Kevin just didn't bring the battle at all to him, so Eryk came away with enough of an advantage from the second run to be able to overturn his mistake from the first run. Really good driving.
There you have it. He's through to the top four. We move it along to Kevin Piskolty against Diogo Correia. This is a big redemption battle. Neither of these drivers have ever seen top four in Drift Masters, and they've been plugging away. They've been getting close for a very long time, but one of them will get 2 shots at the podium and the other will go home. Correia from Portugal, Piskolty from Hungary. It's just a real European battle right here from all corners of the continent. Correia's crazy. Piskolty's crazy.
I was just going to say.
I think the fans are crazy. Everybody's going crazy. This is going to be one for the ages.
This one's going to be one that we never thought we'd see, especially in the Great 8, ready for a final four. Through the gears they go. Piskolty fires in that BMW 92, and look at Diogo Correia, though. He's planted onto the side already. It lets him escape a little bit, but Piskolty not as deep into outside zone 2 as what he'd like to have been. Now through they go, down to outside zone 4, and Correia losing a little bit of ground. He's going to have to shortcut outside zone 5 to make that ground back up again. As Piskolty looks for that final outside zone, Correia not on the door, goes for a dive and makes it almost there.
Not perfect from either driver, but very good all the same.
Oh, yeah.
We would have been begging for battles like this at other rounds because this would have been a final.
Yeah.
But now the standard set so high, the judges' standard set so high. It's on to Correia now in the lead position. It's going to be Piskolty in the chase position. Look at Piskolty, very early initiation. Now he's going to wrist it, and he's made it work. That was very, very close, but he's on the inside of the track. Correia goes right out to the edge of the circuit, exactly what the judges want. Great line from Correia, way outside those 2 inner markers. Correia's on a flyer here, and Piskolty's got to make something work here as Correia jumps through outer zone 5 and slams the car up towards that last outer circle. And look at Piskolty, he's right there. No splitting these guys after 2 runs. A lot of love between the 2 drivers on the track. These guys know how much it means for guys who are sometimes not getting the rewards every round to get this far in the competition. Decisions are coming in, and it is what we thought. Diogo Correia gets the win. He can't believe it. The emotions flow from the Portuguese driver as he finishes higher, no matter what happens from this point on, higher than any other Portuguese driver in the history of European drifting. And Diogo Correia is in the top 4. Incredible. We now move back to the one more time. We haven't decided this one because it's a huge battle for the championship. It's a one more time between Conor, Shanahan and Juha Rintanen. No separating them the first time out. I am not sure if anybody's got any more energy for this, but we've got to pull through because it keeps coming. The adrenaline in this event is almost exhausting because everybody is on it, and these 2 guys have been on it from the start. Rintanen punches the steering wheel and says, we're going back at it again. They're going to go closer, they're going to go harder, they're going to go on the walls more. Conor, Shanahan, Rintanen, here we go.
Look at this through the gears. They felt each other out. They know the car setups, they know the grip levels, and they fire in. Shanahan's dialed this car up. He wants more grip, he wants more power. Look at this though, Rintanen closer in the zone, on the wall he goes. Gives Shanahan the room to maneuver. They fire through, and Shanahan absolutely bails away. He now drives away from Rintanen as Rintanen shortcuts the circuit to try and gain back lost ground. Rintanen now on the ropes against Shanahan on the wall.
I was just about to comment that Conor Shanahan has been hit in every single battle.
Every battle,
and the car's still in one piece. Incredible. Juha Rintanen now in the lead position. We saw Conor Shanahan struggle a little bit to stay with Juha Rintanen, but I think he's got that car turned up to 11 now. This is going to be interesting to see if Shanahan has the pace this time around, or will Rintanen come through and win this event like he did the last one. Shanahan dives in the chase position. Rintanen super wide to the wall. Look at that lead line from Juha Rintanen as he goes out to the edge of the circuit. Shanahan staying with him. Early transition. Shanahan almost smashes the back end off Rintanen's car, but they're both in this as they come towards the end. Shanahan struggling a little bit for pace, but as they go up to the wall, here we go. Rintanen to the wall, Shanahan up onto the door. That is top tier, world-class drifting, no matter where you go in the world. I've got to say, that is just unbelievable driving from both of these guys. We've waited a long time this season to see real close door-on-door action because a lot of guys getting used to new setups. Well, we're seeing it in spades, and who's going to go through to the final 4? It's Conor Shanahan. Conor Shanahan gets the win, goes through to the final 4.
The whole of this stadium has gone eerily silent as they all anticipate the final finish driver. Is he going to make it to the line, or is he not going to make it to the line, Dave?
I think he's going to retire. I think that's what I'm hearing in my headset. I think he's going to retire because in an electronic power steering, he can't steer the car. Even with no power steering, the car will not turn. So we're hearing some words that it may be Jack Shanahan doing a bye run, and we may be robbed of one of the greatest battles this weekend. And Lauri Heinenen's car coming out of the burnout box may be a mechanical failure here. Marston's walked away. I'm hearing some news from the pits that Lauri Heinonen, he's got a decision to make. He's told he's got to make that decision now. He either runs it or he can't, but because it's electronic, it was hydraulic.
Oh, he's been told. He's been told by a start line Marshall Martin. He had his arms up, making the cross. That means our start line Marshall Martin has deemed it unsafe to run, Dave.
And you got to feel for Lauri Heinonen here. He's so, I mean, there's good points in the bag for the championship, but it's not the way he wanted to leave the competition. So Jack Shanahan furious. Jack Shanahan is furious that Lauri Heinenen's car is broken because he wanted to beat Lauri Heinonen, you know what? He didn't want to win this way. No driver wants to win this way. And Lauri Heinonen saying that because it's electronic power steering, you don't have any steering. If it's hydraulic, you can kind of try and make it work, but something very strange with that system, not allowing him to steer the car, and that is the image you're getting right now, is Lauri Heinonen sitting in the burnout box, and Jack Shanahan just having to initiate into this corner to go through to the final 4. Not what we wanted, but that is the tale of the tape. We knew there'd be roller coaster emotions here in Finland, well, very figuratively and literally this whole weekend.
Oh man, you know what? And I've just looked out the window above the commentary booth, and the whole of this stadium has gone deadly silent. Nobody here can believe what we've just witnessed. Jack Shanahan, though, he's going to go for a bye run, and Lauri Heinonen is just going to take that car clean off the circuit. He knows he can't continue, and he can barely turn the steering wheel, Dave, to take it out of the arena. And Jack Shanahan finishes up the run. He will get the win and move into the final 4.
I've never seen a jockey win a race on his own.
On his own.
No. So the horse let him down, but you know what? They'll fix that problem. They'll have a good look through it. And what you're going to see there from that perspective is Lauri Heinonen bow out of competition, meaning Jack Shanahan will go through to the final 4, setting up our final couple of drivers into that final 4. And right now, it's going to be very interesting to see which way this one plays out.